Hey up! Alright everybody, thanks for tuning in and coming back and clicking on my channel. It's a real honour to be able to do this. I'm talking about a couple of films from my childhood and one more recently that I absolutely love and keep going back to. So this video I'll be talking about The Exorcist, what effect it had on me and what happened when I was a kid when I watched it for the first time. Now I'm also going to be talking about, if you like, a rip-off of The Exorcist from Italy coming in called Beyond the Door. First of all though, I'd just like to say that I released my first ever YouTube video and it's absolutely blown me away. Lovely feedback I've had and comments from people. Of people who I've never met before have even commented. And it's had about 50 odd views already. So, I want to thank you because, listen, and this is serious business, this. If you're clicking on my video and taking 10 minutes out of your life, time is the best thing that anybody can give anybody. It's the kindest thing as well because guess what? You don't get your time back. This is a one-way show, baby. So thank you very much. It makes me very proud. Massive shout out to everybody who's commented so far. All right. The scariest film of all time, JT. Is that what you're saying? Ooh, it'll frighten thee. And it bloody did frighten me back in the day. And it's still a belter of a film. This box set here that I've got is the 50th anniversary special edition. And it's a Blu-ray, but it's 4K. And it comes quite posh in a nice hard case. And it's glossy and it's nice. It's Warner Brothers. They've done all right with this one. If I can get it out of sodding case, that is. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, it's a steelbook as well, so it's pretty damn nice. I love the art that they've gone for on the steelbook itself because that to me is The Exorcist. That image there, oh my word. I remember going into the video shop and seeing it in a big Warner box in a clamshell and seeing that image and thinking, what's shining down here? It's a brilliant, absolutely brilliant cover. And it really reminds me, and I love it when new releases remind you of the original films. Fantastic. Right, so you get the case, the steelbook, sorry. You also get some sort of pamphlet here, some sort of book in a box, in a thing. What it is you've got these quite beautiful shots from the film. Now, some of you guys will know it's classed as like a what do you call it? Like a press kit, right? So they used to give when films came out in cinema or when they wanted films to be reviewed in the papers when they were up and coming. Back in the day, I don't know if they still do. Well, they don't need to do it now because everything's digital, isn't it? They used to send these cards, lobby cards or press kits. They send these pictures out, and that's what they remind me of. Whether they are meant to, I'm not sure. They'd have them up in cinema lobbies as you walked in, and then you'd see the poster. And like I said, magazines would use them, and they'd go and, show off the reviews with some of these already expertly took on set, probably, at photos. They don't do it now, do they? We don't need to, I suppose, if it's digital. But it's just nice, isn't it? Now, some people will bang them in a frame. There is some people out, can I just say, there are some people out there, and I'm not judging you, they'll buy something like this and never open it. You've got to enjoy film, man, and you've got to watch it. If it's your favourite film, bang it on, get it undone. You don't have to mistreat it, a few sticky finger marks, but it's there to be watched, isn't it? Speaking of watching it, hang on. You get another book here. There's a book with some sort of story that you can read when you're on the lav, right? You get this. You get a nice little mini poster, which is quite nice actually, and you could actually, if you like, frame it. It's very much like the original Warner It is actually the Warner cover, isn't it? The original film cover, shall I say? Not the quad, obviously. They're the quad posters, but for those people that collect them, they go for a lot of money, don't they? And they're actually massive. Have you ever tried hanging one of them? It's like 60 odd centimetres by 100 or something. They're that heavy, some of the frames, the poster just drops after them. I've not had a lot of good luck with them. I have them in my basement, and I just tack them onto the wall rather than frames, because frames are expensive these days, aren't they? Yeah, so The Exorcist, I've got to say, and I've got to address this now, really. I'm not a fan of this blooming director's special, extended director's cut. Get out, chuck it in bin. I don't want to. All right, it's on disc. I don't have to watch it. Fair enough. I understand. But they're putting bloody bits back in film that were never in first place. You've got her coming downstairs like a spider. And you've got that Pizzazzo image jumping about all over. It's on fireplace, it's in kitchen, it's everywhere. Look, what's all that about, man? Leave films alone. Leave them alone. Yes, restore them. Yes, if you've got another alternative cut, stick it on disc if you like, but don't force it down my neck. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not watching the extended rubbish. No, it's not for me, that. Just joking, but it's just definitely not for me. I'll tell you what spoiled it, shall I? All this extended stuff. 1997, going to watch Star Wars again at Pictures. George Lucas said, "This is the last time you'll see Star Wars. You better get to Pictures and buy a ticket." Last time, my ass. And they'd put more chuffing stuff in that film. There's changes of scenes, there's bloody CGI, everything. Even songs have changed towards end, like Return of the Jedi and stuff. It's just, excuse me, my teeth are falling out. It's just too much. Stop changing stuff. Stop, at least there's two versions to pick on here without parroting on too much more. But yeah, if you're going to release a film as classic as this, it should have the original version on. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you something. This might be a bit controversial. You probably think he's lost the plot here. But I actually like Exorcist 2. I do. I'm only being honest. I like it. It's all right. It's not obviously it's not the same. It doesn't have the same feel as The Exorcist. It's not gonna do. It's just so trippy. The Exorcist 2. It's just so. The music by Ennio Morricone, the scenery, how it's shot, the beginning, the openings, one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen, and it sort of takes you on this journey. And that's why I suppose at the time I were on really strong tramadol, but it was just like a very strange film, definitely. Whether you hate it, like it or hate it, it's a good film and it's strange, and it's for me. It's a guilty pleasure, Exorcist 2. I'll admit to it. I do like Exorcist 2. And 3 is very, very good. Although I didn't really watch it much back in the day. But I've recently watched an Arrow version, I think it was. And I really enjoyed it. It's a good film. Don't let anybody spoil it for you, The Exorcist 3. Go in. If you've not seen it before, if you've not seen any Exorcist films before, all you really need to see is this. You can then watch Exorcist 3 if you like. I don't think you're going to like Exorcist 2. Exorcist Believer and all that new stuff, I'm sorry I'm too old to give me time to it. Not for me. We're back. Let me just get this camera straight. Weirdly, we're talking about The Exorcist and the Beyond the Door. And at one point during filming, and I'm shit you not, I could not get power to the tripod, and my light that I was using just went off. I've two of these lights. Anyway, Beyond the Door is what we were just talking about. I'm just going to get a bit more of a close-up with this other view. So, there's Beyond the Door, US theatrical, uncut import version as well. So there's actually 2 discs. There is a poster, but I've put the poster up, guess where? You know, beyond the door. It's near my cellar door. Right, so we've got postcards in here. Or should I say press kits or postcards? Very nice. All its different names, I'm guessing. Chise. I don't know how you say it. It's Italian for the Italian release, which it is an Italian film, obviously. 1974, I believe. It's definitely worth, like I say, it's worth checking out. It's worth watching. This version that I've got, this is an older Arrow box set release. There's a book and all. See it if you want to read. Have a flick through it. It's hard. It's nice. I like this release. It's been a very, very enjoyable film. I go back to it about once every couple of years because it's decent. Like I say, there's something really creepy about it, and the makeup and that. It's properly good for early 70s Italian horror, supernatural horror. I've got a note here that says to remind me that there's 3 films in this trilogy, and I haven't seen any others. I think I'm right in saying the second part, Beyond the Door 2, it's basically Mario Bava's Shock, retitled, I guess, to sell more in different areas of the world, and to cash in, which is what a lot of these Italian films did. Or how they were released were to cash in, make as much money as possible. A little bit of a rip-off theme going off here, like I alluded to, because Beyond the Door, there was some aggro with Warner Brothers around about 74, 75, and they did do some, I don't know how far it went, but there was some court proceedings because it was too much like The Exorcist, they thought. A little bit as well, like Rosemary's Baby, if I'm being honest as well. There's a bit of that sort of feel to it. In fact, there's a lot of that feel to it, but I won't spoil anymore. I would suggest watching it, Beyond the Door. This version that I got is like a special edition. I think it costs about 30-something quid. I think you can probably still get it on Amazon for between 30 and 40 quid. Alternatively, the exact same version, you can just get in a regular box from Amazon, and it's about $8.99, I believe, on Blu-ray. So that'd be a bargain for you to just order on a whim and blame me if you don't like it. Or don't blame me. Please don't. Yeah, so I thought I'd just mention that in a bit more detail, that film, because it's a good one. Now, the thing with The Exorcist, just to sort of give you a bit more of a close-up, I think, maybe. It's a chunky box. Now that is classed as The Exorcist 50th Anniversary Special Edition. This particular box set, I think, was out. Well, I bought it January last year, and it's a few months since I've watched it. The price on that is around about 40 quid on eBay. There's one on now for about 38 quid. It goes up to about 50 quid. Sometimes it fluctuates up and down on eBay as other areas run out lower stock. I don't think it's out of print yet. With it being a big release like 50th anniversary, I don't expect it to like go out of print and command daft money. You can get it on Amazon, and it's north side of 50. It's like 60 quid on Amazon. I guess just watch out for it. I think it's worthwhile getting that one. A big fan of Exorcist. It's probably, I say now, but it's probably the last time I buy that film, I guess. Until next time. So, what got me onto Exorcist and why this video was... The reason I made this video is kind of like to talk about The Exorcist and my own experience with The Exorcist and how it came into my life. So, we had a cleaner at Fish Shop. We had a fish and chip business, mum and dad. And I, as a little JT, used to run about and in back and cause all sorts of mischief. But I used to I used to ask questions to. We had a cleaner called Susie, and I don't know if she's still with us, but yeah, she was absolutely lovely, brilliant to my mum and dad. It were quite a big house with the shop, so there were a cleaner in to help because mum and dad work like 12, 14, 15 hours. If you've had a business or a fish and chip shop, you'll know how many hours that are involved. It's a big commitment, is it? Fish and chips, and it worked for my mum and dad, and they wanted to do it right, and quality at fish and chips were bang on. I can testify about that, and there's lots of people who are in Swinton, South Yorkshire. Lots of people often still talk about it now to me when I see them. So I'm going on. But to cut a long story short, I was asking Susan one day about horror films. I'd be about 8 or 9, I think. And she says, "Oh, Jonathan, you wouldn't like one particular film. Oh, you mustn't watch it because it'll frighten thee." And do you know, like, she was trying to wind me up, and then obviously then she didn't talk about it. And it made me want to see it more. I was like, what she just said, Exorcist. Right, okay. So every time she came, I said, "Susan, tell me a bit more about this film, The Exorcist." And she'd tell me a little bit more and a little bit more. But she'd always said to me, bless her, "I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to cause you nightmares. Perhaps I shouldn't be telling you this, but, there's a scene where Lasser's head turns round. It's awful." And I couldn't be told not to then be excited about watching it and getting it. And I was very, very lucky. Growing up, we had a video shop just across from Chippy. And I used to go to my mum and say, "I want to rent these horror films." First of all, she said, no, your dad wouldn't like that. You should only be watching films for your appropriate age, that type of thing. I wore her down, essentially. And she used to write me a note. And she used to say, "Jonathan can rent films as long as they're not from the top shelf." And it worked. It worked. Oh my word, did it work. I used to see so many brilliant films back in the early 80s, remember. The Video Nasty Scourge, which is what I'm absolutely still mentally scarred from, and it's what got me into these horror films in the first place. So The Exorcist, where I didn't rent The Exorcist. I don't think I'd dare rent it, but one day I was home and my brother was babysitting while mum and dad went out, and he came into the house and he says, "It's just me and you tonight, Jonathan, and The Exorcist." And he had a video box. He'd rented the Exorcist on video cassette, and I thought, he's not going to let me watch this, really. And you do that thing where you want to watch it, but you're scared at the same time. And it blew me away. It terrified me. Absolutely stuck with me. To this day, watching that film. We were a bugger, my brother. He wanted to freak me, but it kind of, I don't know if it sort of set my passion off, I guess, for horror films, and especially for Exorcist. Blow me neck. I mean, fantastic film. So we watched it on video, and it weren't long after that, to be honest, that the video scourge happened, and the people and the councils and the police all kicked off and came round to the video shop and took things off its shelves, and we went from round about 200 horror films to choose from to about 20 or something. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And it just seemed weird. You going into the shop and there just being no real horror section anymore. It was strange. It was strange. You used to be able to rent, I'm going on about stuff now, I'm supposed to be talking about Exorcist, but you used to be able to rent anything on VHS, really, nasty-wise. You could go and get Driller Killer, Flesh Eaters, Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox, anything. It were all there on shelves, and really nice covers. You've got all your Vipco classics and things like that still there. And then one day gone, the weird way they did it at Swinton Video, I'd love actually if anybody can put in the comments, if there's anybody who's got any old photos of Swinton Video Shop. I believe it was owned by the Lancasters, I believe at some point. Now, if anybody's got any old trivia or photos about Swinton Video, I would love Swinton Video. I would love to learn more about it because it was such a big sort of time for me, I guess. But yeah, they sold all the videos off that the police didn't take. So there were all these ex-rental videos like Driller Killer and Zombie Flesh Eaters and stuff. And they just put £5 on them or £2.50. And I was like, literally a kid in a sweet shop. I legged it up road, I flew over it road, missing a bus, went into front, I didn't even go to the back of the shop, went to front of the shop, mother, can I have my pocket money advance? She's like, well, you're not having it, you've had a couple of quid this week. I'm like, I just need some more. And I've managed to sort of blag my way to getting 3 or 4 of these films and paying for them next week off Video Shop Lady. She was lovely. Lady we call Molly. I don't know if anybody remembers her. Absolutely lovely people at Swinton Video. Good memories, and they put up with us kids. Us kids used to spend all day in there picking films up, putting them back, giggling at top shelf. We just entertained ourselves all day in there. So they did put up with some stuff, and I don't think they'd do it anymore these days. So yeah, they were lovely people. The Exorcist, going back to The Exorcist, there's a big debate about if it were banned or not, and if it was sort of part of that video Nasty Scourge where they took everything off its shelves. To this day, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but I think what happened was, again, like blooming Jethro or something, the local councils decided that The Exorcist were going to go off its shelf because it was bad taste for religious reasons and things like that. And then, weirdly, it never went away from the cinema. It stayed on in local cinemas, all across South Yorkshire at least anyway, with the still got the X certificate on it, so you could still go and see The Exorcist, but you have to go to the cinema, and it's probably going to be a midnight screening. I had no chance of getting in. I'd seen it once on video and loved it. But yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get in because I wouldn't have looked 18 at the time to see it again. Not until about 1997, 98, Warner Brothers sent it back to BBFC and said, come on, we've got this classic here. It deserves to be seen by more people now, you know. Can you just classify it from an X to an 18? And they looked at it and they said, yeah, well you can release this as an 18 now. So it went to, you could see it in HMV and everywhere then. And on video, it were a big seller of a video. It was The Exorcist in the late 90s, definitely. Yeah, so again, I just wanted to share my memories and have a look at these 2 films that have left something here. You know, when you come away and you think, oh, and then you keep going back to them. Like I said, people keep buying these films. They're so important to a lot of people that I thought I'd do this video. So thank you very much for watching. But before I go, and before this video ends, this is what I was looking at earlier, and I just thought I might share it, and I hope it picks it up. I'd simply just ask my phone something. Was there any real exorcisms in South Yorkshire? This is what I got.
While the term real can be subjective, there have been reported instances and discussions surrounding exorcisms in South Yorkshire. The case of Michael Taylor, Ossett, West Yorkshire, 1974. Although Ossett is technically in West Yorkshire, it's geographically close to South Yorkshire, and this is a notable case in the region. Michael Taylor underwent an all-night exorcism performed by Anglican priests who believed they had expelled numerous demons. Tragically, shortly after the exorcism, Taylor murdered his wife. This case gained significant media attention and raised complex questions about the nature and consequences of exorcism. The gay exorcism in Sheffield, reported 2022 to 2024.
Oh, that's tragic.
A man, Matthew Draper, alleged that he was subjected to what he considered an exorcism at St. Thomas's Philadelphia Church in Sheffield in 2014.
This is Sheffield, this.
This involved intense prayer sessions aimed at ridding him of homosexual demons. An independent investigation upheld his complaint, stating the prayer ministry was consistent with what many individuals would describe as a form of exorcism, which could fall under the definition of spiritual abuse. The Yorkshire Exorcist, Discovery Plus TV series 2023.
Silly
this
bastards.
Documentary series follows ordained exorcist Ian Lawman as he attempts to help individuals believed to be possessed.
The Yorkshire Exorcist.
Him trying to drive out an entity from
that sounds alright.
But the
What's
title
that on?
suggests his work may also occur within Yorkshire. Social landlords and
I've never heard of
exorcisms,
him.
2013. Reports indicated that some social landlords in the broader Yorkshire region, including Sheffield Council, had taken complaints of hauntings seriously, even to the point of contacting exorcists or offering tenants priority moves. One specific case mentioned a property in the Bromsgrove district and Redditch Borough Council area, not South Yorkshire but indicative of the practice in the wider region, where an exorcism was performed due to a mother believing her child was possessed. It's important to note that the understanding and interpretation of these events vary significantly. Some view
Well, there you go. There's a few documented cases in South Yorkshire. Leeds, over in Leeds, one in Sheffield. What do you think about that? What the hell's going off? I thought this was just all, perhaps something they did 10, 20, 30 years ago. And on that, can you actually believe that this is 50-year-old? The Exorcist is 50-year anniversary. Oh, God, I'm old. Oh, I'm an old cocker. Yeah, never mind. So change of scenery, some weird stuff going off halfway through, but I managed to get this one finished, and hopefully you found it interesting. Now, thank you very much again for watching. Please, if you fancy seeing this type of thing again, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Oh, and happy Easter. Well, that sounds a bit odd now, doesn't it? Talking about Easter at end of an Exorcist video. But no, joking aside, please enjoy your Easter holidays. It's bank holiday in the UK, I believe. And if you're going out for a meal with family, maybe having some nice roast lamb, some nice Easter eggs, some chocolate. Yeah, have some nice family time. And traditionally, it's a holy time for a lot of people. So have fun, stay safe, and I'll see you again somewhere. Ta-ra!